What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS, here to bring you guys that NBA slate breakdown for the 7-game NBA slate. We just got some injury news in the middle of me recording everything, so I scrapped that last video, and I'm going back to redo the video for you guys just so I can give you updated info and everything. This video hopefully can be a little bit faster than what I did in the last one. Last one was almost 35 minutes, me rambling and stuff like I normally do whenever I do these things, like I'm doing right now. If you guys new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content over here on the channel, and drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos help you guys win some money. Hopefully you guys were able to definitely make some money last night. Gave out some pretty decent cores and plays over here on the Patreon. For myself, I did not cash in my DFS stuff. Simply some pivots that I could have made. I was right outside both contests, legit both contests, right outside the cash line. I was the next person in order to come in at least to double up for both of my entries that I had. I put out a main core, and then I put out a late night core for the day. The big pivot that I could have made was, instead of playing Kevin Durant, should have had Devin Booker. Was very back and forth on that right there. Figured KD's matchup was better. My boy, my savior, Jaime Jaquez, that boy was killing it, man. Jaime was definitely trying to get me to the promised land. Almost got there, especially if they were able to give him, if he would have got that and one towards the end of the game, that bucket, and then sink the free throws. That would have popped me right into at least doubling up on the night. But you live and learn. Hopefully you guys were able to put in some better fill-ins with what I had. Cole Anthony, Karis LeVert, Aman Thompson, and Tracy Jackson Davis. That was my core. So definitely a lot of upside right there. You could have hopefully played someone different than Draymond Green. I went ahead and played Draymond. Figured it would have been a good matchup for him here, but got herself in foul trouble and just kept jawing out there at everybody. Darius Garland, I'm surprised he was as low owned as what he was. That's dividend, like, the eye test matched with Darius Garland, and that's why I ended up playing him. I'm gonna be very honest. He's been balling. He's been hooping. Played very well. Loved the upside and everything. No Donovan Mitchell was kind of almost no-brainer. If you played any three of the main Cavs players in Garland, Mobley, or Jared Allen and paired up with Karis LeVert, you had a good night. Cole Anthony, don't know what happened with his minutes. Played 27 minutes, didn't play in the fourth quarter at all. Was really crazy considering that normally he would have been playing, and he's been a big part of them coming back from being down 20-plus points numerous times on the season, but didn't want to play him for whatever. I know they were on the front end of a back-to-back, but it is what it is. Late night core, I tried to fit Bam in. That's what messed me up. But if you look at it on the Patreon, my original core, I had Clint Capella over Neko Kamwu. If I would have stuck there with Walker Kessler, came up off a Highsmith and played Bogdan Bogdanovic, or try to get to Nikola Jovic, I cashed. Easy day. Going over it, the alt lines and stuff like that, you guys know I'm very strong on playing alt lines, not playing the main lines that they are giving us, because again, just look at everyone's records and stuff like that. It's very far in between. You're going to find discrepancies and things like that on the books. So that's why I have turned my focus to alt lines, and doing pretty good in regards to actually putting these out. Round robin and my favorite two and everything, they did very well last night. Even with the postponed game, did do some same game parlays last night. Unfortunately, in the Cavs game, if Quickly would have went ahead and got his 12th point, he only had 10, finished with 10. Definitely would have been able to cash out the same game parlay that I had over there for that. Denny Avnia did not score at all or do anything in the fourth quarter that he played. Nothing. Don't know what happened right there. Bam, same thing for him. No rebounds in the last 6 minutes that he played. Just no boards whatsoever. DeAndre Ayton only played 21 minutes, so that one right there was on me, considering it was the back end of a back-to-back, and I knew that they were going to give Klingon more minutes. No Time Lord. That was on me right there with that one. Mistake. Not going to make that one again. You live and you learn. Definitely. That's why I continue to give this and do this for you guys, so you can learn from also what I'm doing, and you guys can be better DFS and better yourself. Going over the injury report, like I said, we did get some new news. Stuff has dropped since I was originally doing my first recordings and stuff like that and everything. But looking at it, not looking too bad for today. Definitely do think some value has now opened up from the Golden State Warriors side, just because there should definitely be a lot of value. They should have a tight rotation. This looks like the Brooklyn Nets over there for us. Steph Curry is out. Draymond Green is out. Kuminga is out. Potominski is out. Andrew Wiggins is out, dealing with family stuff right now. Moses Moody, game time decision. Tracy Jackson Davis for his eye just popped up on the injury report. I would imagine that he's going to have to play, because they don't have, right now when I looked at it, about 8 bodies. That's why I said they are legit the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Over there on the Indiana Pacers, wouldn't be surprised if they decided maybe they want to sit some of these guys. Halliburton, you might not need him here in this matchup. Miles Turner, let him go ahead and get well, just because you're going up against the B and C Warriors on the day right here. But Tyrese Halliburton, he's been getting a game time decision tag last couple times, but he's been playing good to go. Miles Turner missed last game being sick. I would expect for him to be back tonight. Damian Lillard over here, and Giannis for Milwaukee. No news really report for them. Orlando, Paolo, he is back, expected to play. Not sure about a minutes limit yet. That has not popped up. New Orleans Pelicans, DeJounte, he's been carrying this game time decision tag, but he has been playing. Same thing over here for Philly. Paul George, he practiced and he is back, good to go from that groin. Haven't seen a minutes limit for him, so I expect him to play. Oh, forgot to talk about Zion. Zion, he should be playing in this game right here. Haven't seen anything saying that they're going to keep him out. BI is still out. Trey Jones and Herb Jones are out as well. So a little shifting mix up right there in the starting lineup for the Pelicans, and a lot of usage to go around for Zion, CJ, and DeJounte Murray. Over here on Philly, Andre Drummond, Joel Embiid are out, so you already know Yabusele, he's back in the starting lineup again. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox just got ruled out, so we will see Monk and Keon Ellis, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Sabonis, those guys, everyone's going to be getting a boost in usage and stuff like that, especially at that guard spot for the Kings. Boston Celtics, no news report for them. OKC, Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren, AJ Mitchell, he's still out. For the New York Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns, still been carrying that game time decision tag due to his knee, but he's been playing, good to go. Expect for him to be back in play. Don't see him being out. He played last time. Washington Wizards taking on the Chicago Bulls. Poole and Sarr, both of them missed last game. Hopefully Poole is back. If he's not, I do have a play that I do love over here in Washington, especially just because of the matchup that I want to go to. And then Sarr, if he's going to be out, you already know we're going to be going to Jonas Valanciunas, fantasy point producer, getting the minutes, got to play, especially for the fact that Marvin Bagley is still out for them, Sadiq Bey, all their backups and stuff. Rashawn Holmes, he's a game time decision. If Holmes is going to be out, they're really not going to have any bigs to be able to run over here. Same thing for Washington. Almost looks like the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors. A lot of value on a couple of these teams for us to get to today. Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu is still out, so tight rotation at the guard spot over there for them. Brooklyn Shitters, they are again just a decimal of a team as well. Ton of guys out over here. Ben Simmons is back though, so Ben can probably play. For the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, we just need to know if he's going to be back or not today. He has been sick the last 2 games and that he's missed. And then Aaron Gordon, he is a game time decision, but doubtful to play. Not looking too good with that ankle still. Pulling up the slate over here on DraftKings, the site I play the most on the site. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. I'm going to take some time to try to focus on the teams, especially with the injury news and stuff like that. Give you guys really just the players that I do like from each game as we go through it like I normally do. But first game, there is some value right here in this Golden State Warriors versus any game, just simply because Golden State Warriors, they're missing a ton of their players. A lot of the usage, Steph Curry, Kuminga, Wiggins, Draymond Green, he's out as well. It hasn't updated over here on DraftKings for whatever reason, but Green is going to be out as well. So they only have Tracy Jackson Davis if he's good to go, which I would imagine he's going to have to be because they need enough players. Dennis Schroeder, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, he's still a game time decision, so I'm gonna. Well, Moses Moody is expected to play, so Moses Moody, Kyle Anderson, Lindy Waters, Kevon Looney. That's 7. One of Santos, Spencer, or Post. And my eyes, because I saw it last night, I watched the game. Santos played 26 minutes last night. I would imagine our boy Santos is going to have to get some minutes. So that makes 8 guys that you have to rotate to. 5 of them have to play the game and be out there as starters, so on and so forth. Your rotation is going to be very, very tight, especially when we look at it here from the guard perspective, because you don't got Pod. Dennis and Buddy are already starting. Lindy might get the start and already be out there in the starting spot. Your only guard you got to rotate is going to be Santos. I have no clue who the hell Spencer is, and I'm not even going to worry about him because he barely gets any minutes, period. Anyway, from the forward spot, all you have is Moses Moody and Kyle Anderson. So, and Kyle Anderson is expected to be out there starting. So the rotation should be very, very tight over there. Tracy Jackson Davis has to play. It's only him and Kevon Looney at the center spot, and you have to have one somewhat versus the Indiana Pacers, just because they can run Obi Toppin or Siakam at the center spot, so that's not too bad. But still, tight rotation from the Warriors. We are going to have to get some type of Warrior value on today's slate. I just see it. They are the Brooklyn Nets that we just had the other night. Finding out which plays is going to be what, that's going to be the key. This is a revenge matchup for Buddy Hield. I could see it there, 4,100. You know, you're going to have to go out there and have a decent shooting night. Either way, all these guys over here are in contention to play for the Warriors. I will hopefully have it broken down and figured out when I post the player pool for you guys later on today. So definitely, again, tap into that over there on the Patreon if you guys haven't already. If you guys are using the player pool and enjoying the stuff that I'm putting out over here on the Patreon, as you guys can see, I changed up the content a little bit over there on the Pat for you guys going into the 2025 year. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it and you are seeing the dividends of it. Not only myself, I'm seeing it myself as well. So hopefully you guys are also seeing it as well. If you guys are, let me know down in the comment section what you guys are actually enjoying, or if you guys want me to change anything that I am doing, whether it be in these videos or in my breakdowns and stuff that I'm posting over there on the Patreon. And again, if you guys will want the Patreon, it's $5. It's in the description below. Support the channel, support your boy. All right, on the Indiana Pacers side, I will say Tyrese Haliburton, I loved his upside, loved his spot before all that news broke. I like it a little bit less just because this game could possibly blow out. I'm going to try not to be scared away from blowout possibilities here in this. Again, I wouldn't be surprised maybe if they were to hold Haliburton, just because you really shouldn't need him here in this matchup. If Haliburton was to be out, if they decide to take it easy on him, TJ McCollum, 3,700 gets a start. Love the upside for him. Andrew Nembhard, like him. I loved him already here. 4,800. Opposing shooting guards have done pretty well versus the Warriors. I really don't mind him here again. Miles Turner, this game, Miles Turner missed, so maybe that right there might be a little skewed in regards to what he can give us, but I do still think that he definitely can go out there and light it up with the best of them. So I don't mind his upside. It's definitely there. And then if they do have Miles Turner out, just because it is the BC squad over there for the Golden State Warriors, Thomas Bryant, 4,200 fantasy point per minute produced when he's out there on the court. Another good value play that we're going to want to get to if Miles Turner is out. Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Orlando Magic. Really, Giannis, don't got to say anything about him. Dame, if you want to get there, 8,900. All right, cool. You are going to have to pay up for somebody on today's slate with all the value now that we have. Outside of that, Brook Lopez, I can see some contention right there for him. Opposing centers going up against Goga have done decent in the spot. And Brook Lopez really has been lighting it up from three. Lately, 40.75 fantasy points in the last game versus San Antonio versus Toronto. 32 minutes to drop 33 fantasy points. I know that he's played Orlando recently. If I can find that game log, 28 minutes, he only gave up 14 fantasy points. So, that's a bit ugly, but I still like Brook Lopez as possible GPP play, but I do feel like we're going to have some value over here on today's slate, especially at the center spot. I don't have to get there to Lopez, who is heavily reliant on him scoring. So that's just that right there. Not too interested in anything over here, honestly, on Milwaukee or really truly in this game anyway, just because it is a little bit of some unknowns. Paolo, he's back. How many minutes is Paolo going to play? What's he going to look like? If Paolo's back, no minute limitation or anything like that, I'm making multiple lines in this 1K to first, I'll take a stab at playing Paolo. Just a stab, just because who else is going to have the usage over there? There's no Suggs. There's no Franz Wagner. He was the team before he went down, was dropping 60 fantasy point plus and stuff like that out there. So do like the upside possibly for him. Got some more news drop. I was about to say, come on, man. Y'all killing me now with all this news that you're flooding me with the news. But I definitely would be looking in that direction towards Paulo if he's not limited. And then you can look towards Tristan da Silva, you know, if he gets hot from shooting, but all GPP, not too heavy on Orlando or them right there. New Orleans Pelicans taking on Philly. I do like the upside for Zion. As you guys can see, the dude played 28 minutes, no restriction or anything like that in regards to, like they said minutes limit, but 28 minutes in the first game back, I'm going to take it. You telling me he might be go out here and play 32, 35 minutes, no Joel Embiid, no Andre Drummond, no rim protection, dude that loves to get into the paint, jam it down, things like that, fast break, fast-paced game. Love the upside for Zion here. Wouldn't mind paying up for him as one of my studs for today. 9K. I think he might be lower owned than what he should be. No BI out there still, no Trey Murphy, no Herb Jones, a lot more shots to go around besides him, DeJounte Murray, and CJ McCollum. All these guys are in some really good spots. I don't mind all of them at all whatsoever, but the upside for Zion and what he could do with a couple more shots and things like that, and if the minutes can hit 32 to 35, love what we could possibly get for Zion here in this position and spot. And he's really all I'm looking at over here on the Pelicans. You can mess with maybe a Boston over there. That would probably be the only other one that I would look to. Alvarado, not really interested in that over there. Over on Philly side, we have continuously attacked them with opposing guards. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre Jr., both those guys look good, but the main value piece that we're going to get over here is going to be Abaseli. No Drummond, no Embiid. You know he's going to go out there and play the minutes. We have attacked consistently all season opposing centers going up against Messi. It's been Missy, however you say his name. It's been a thing. And it will continue to be a thing, especially one that has the chops like what Yabusele does. Very much high energy dude, gets those offensive rebounds, can get the putbacks, plays very good on defense. Love the upside for what we should be able to get from him at 5'5". That's crazy. Outside of that, Paul George, if he's not limited, another one you could take a stab at as a GPP play, 7,500. Maybe he can go out there and give us a good game. I will say it's much better than playing 94 for Tyrese Maxey when I really don't understand how the hell Maxey's price jumped all the way up to 94. That is a huge jump. If Maxey was still in the 8K range, I wouldn't mind looking to him here just because the matchup. But with Paul George being back, I'm not too sure if I can get up there to him. Very much GPP play at best. I would rather play Kelly Oubre Jr. Over there if I was to take someone at the guard spot over there for the 76ers outside of outside of Paul George in GPPs. Sacramento Kings taking on Boston. No De'Aaron Fox. Now straight up. Keon Ellis, Malik Monk, both those guys, great plays. Monk should be starting at the point spot. And last couple games without De'Aaron Fox out there, 42.25, 59.75. You beat Boston with your guard. You beat Boston with shooters. You beat Boston with your movement, their defense, all that good jazz. Boston will allow you to shoot. Monk gonna shoot. Monk is going to do what Monk going to do. Love the upside for him here. 7K, no De'Aaron Fox. I'll go right back to it. Keon Ellis, he's really more out there for what he gives you on the defensive side. Yes, he can score. He can play some very good defense, things like that. Don't mind the upside for either one of these guys. There's value right there. 4K, another player that you can go ahead and get. Again, no De'Aaron Fox. Love the upside for what we should be able to go ahead and get for Keon here in a good spot versus Boston. This game hopefully is tight and close. And I can see a couple of pieces, honestly, from the Boston side that you can take back if you're trying to play one or two players from over here on the Sacramento Kings. With no De'Aaron Fox, I also do like DeMar DeRozan here in this spot right here. The matchup should be pretty decent for him as well. And you maybe could look towards Sabonis, but I do think the matchup versus Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford, I'm not too keen in going up against those two guys. But DeMar DeRozan, kind of the more forgotten play, should be lower owned. Definitely could see you taking a stab, maybe looking there at him as a possible option. And then bringing it on over here to the flip side, going over here to Boston. Not too interested in Tatum. I will say 10-3. There's other players and stuff. I got SGA, who's in a good spot going up against the Knicks that I would much rather go ahead and play and get up to when it comes down to it. But I'll take his running mate, Jaylen Brown, JB. He's very aggressive. He's back. He's playing pretty good over his last several games. Don't mind looking at him. He's been pretty aggressive out there whenever he's out on the field. Do think that we are due for a Jaylen Brown 40-50 fantasy point type outing from him. Like getting down here to him. Definitely do think sometimes he goes as the forgotten guy. And to be honest, if you don't get to Jaylen Brown, Derek White, him as well. This is one of those spots where I've looked at it. Opposing guards that shoot and can shoot versus the Kings have actually played very well going up against them. Derek White, the upside's there, John, not only because he's a very good shooter and he can, shoot pretty much lights out if he gets on one, but the dude also facilitates. He also plays some very good defense and he can, get some rebounds. Terry Rozier, horrible shooter, 33 fantasy points versus them. Tyrese Maxey dropped 50. Desmond Bane, 46. Austin Reeves dropped 58. Shooters, people who can shoot. I like the upside for what Derek White brings. And with that, I don't mind and think you should probably look towards Drew Holiday as well. 5,400. He's been playing pretty good. When you look at it, 4 out of his last 5 games, he's had some pretty great games. Besides that game going up against OKC, we put the clamps on him. We was out there. We did our thing. But 40.75 fantasy points versus the Denver Nuggets. That's crazy. 27.5 versus Houston, a good defensive team. 32.25 versus Minnesota, a decent defensive team. Toronto, 29.25. He's out there. He's shooting very well. 4 or 5 from 3, 3 of 7 from 3, 2 of 5, 3 of 7. The 3-point shot is looking pretty good. He's also facilitating the ball. We know what he brings on the defensive side, and he can rebound as well. It's It's almost like a gang rebound thing over there for the Boston Celtics. So definitely do think you should look to him, especially because he is cheaper than what they have Peyton Pritchard priced at. And I would take the upside for Jrue Holiday over Peyton Pritchard, especially for the ownership. OKC taking on New York. We just seen this game. It's a rematch. I do think New York will be able to go out here and win this game, playing on their home court. They're going to want to get back. But the Thunder, we are coming up off of a loss, so wouldn't be surprised if we try to go out here and play aggressive, get back into the win column. So either way, it should be a good game. Shea, 10-4, like his price, like his upside. Do think he can come out here firing, drop 52 versus them literally 3 games ago. So you definitely could mess with going to him there. Jalen Williams on the road. He's been playing very well on the road, and versus New York Knicks, dropped 39 fantasy points in that game. I can definitely see you going right back to him as well for 8,300. That's not bad at all. But I will say this is the homestand, homecoming right here for Isaiah Hartenstein. Played in New York for a little bit. They loved him there. Dropped 34.5 fantasy points in that game. Didn't have the best scoring night, but the rebounds and the assists were there. A player that I wouldn't mind taking a assist ladder on when it comes down to it, just because he does facilitate quite a bit for us, and I definitely could see him getting to another 6 assist type game. So 3, 4, 5, 6 assists. If you want to ladder that right there, don't mind taking that as a possible risky type play for me. Or if you're looking for like a player today to really just mess with the assist on, he will be one I would definitely consider if you're trying to run like a 6-6-6-6-6 or a 7-7-7 type thing with other players and stuff like that on the day. Outside of that, I do expect Cason Wallace to get the start here. He started last time versus them, 3,600. Didn't play too well versus them, 17 fantasy points in 30 plus minutes, but has dropped 24 and 25 fantasy points in his last 2 games. So the upside, it could be there, especially if he's going to play 30 minutes and he's actually taking some shots. Outside of that, on the New York Knickerbocker side, Jalen Brunson, 8,900, going to get that Donovan Mitchell defense over here from Lou Dort again today. Versus us the first time, dropped 39.75 fantasy points. Not bad. Got going a little bit in the second half, 22 points, 9 assists. If he can reproduce that and also get a little bit more, I can see him having a decent day. But 8,900, I got Jaylen Brown, I got Kobe White, I got Malik Monk. I got other better guard spots and plays that I can go to today. I don't feel like you have to go there to Jalen Brunson. But I will say Karl-Anthony Towns. If Towns can actually give us a really good scoring night, I already know those rebounds are going to be there, because the Thunder, we do still suck at rebounding. He could have a really smash of a night. 10K, don't mind looking up towards him if I had to play anybody over there. And then Josh Hart, 7,800, the dude also Swiss Army knife. You could definitely mess with that right there. Not really too keen on OG or Bridges. I know Bridges, he did shake loose and was knocking down some pretty good threes out there versus us. 24 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 35.75 fantasy points. Maybe you could take a stab there, but I'm not too interested with some of the other plays and stuff that we have on today's slate. I don't think that you have to get there to him. Washington was just taking on Chicago Bulls. This should be one of those games that we normally like to stack, but we have so much value and everything else going on today that we might not, they might go under the radar for a couple of spots. If Poole is out, I'm going to start with the big thing. If Poole is out, I love the upside for a couple of guys not named Kyle Kuzma, Koulibaly, Champagne, those guys we could look to. But I will say Jared Butler, and this is primarily also due to the fact of Michael Brogdon is out. Butler is coming in as the primary backup point guard, and he's been playing very well and getting at least 20 minutes in these games. This is also just the benefactor of the fact that Brogdon is out. So has a little bit to do with Poole, but mostly because Brogdon has been out. So Butler is the backup point guard. He's coming in, he is facilitating, he is playing that role, but he's also being very aggressive with getting his shots, and he's been shooting very efficiently. This is a great matchup for him either way. Opposing guards, we've been taking that right there going up against the Washington Wizards. going up against the Bulls. At the end of the day, for a 3,900 backup point guard that has been just dropping dimes and doing everything out there when he's on the court, 31, 25, 44 fantasy points versus the Bulls. In 2 minutes, he gave us 1.5 fantasy point. That was it. Didn't take any shots, got 1 assist. It was a blowout. They should get more minutes there in that game. I definitely do not mind looking to him, especially if Poole is ruled out. That might mean a couple more minutes I might be able to see, but he didn't see that. Still only played 20 minutes in that last game, but I do love his upside and what he can definitely bring. If Sarr is out, Jonas Valanciunas, love the upside for him. We've been attacking Vooch all season with opposing centers. Definitely would see myself getting there. And if Sarr is out, that does kind of take me off of Vooch as one of the main Chicago plays. But if Sarr is in, I wouldn't mind looking towards Vooch. Do think that it's a better matchup for him going up against Sarr than it is J-Val. Outside of that, everyone, of course, over here in the starting lineup for the Bulls is completely in contention in play, except for 2 of them. That's simply just to me because Josh Giddey has been ass versus the Washington Wizards this season, has only played 26 minutes versus them in both matchups. And for whatever reason, Billy Donovan has not enjoyed playing him, even with Ayo missing. So not too interested in Giddey unless you're playing multiple lines and you want him as a GPP option. And then Patrick Williams, he's just too low of a usage player that I don't see any reason to go to him. In 23 minutes versus the Bulls, only gave us 16.75 fantasy points. 4,300, I can get some other value. The Golden State Warrior value on today's slate, Brooklyn Nets value on today's slate. I could just go different places than worrying about can Patrick Williams get me enough. I'm not doing that. I will say with Ayo being out, Lonzo Ball, his minutes have been pretty consistent. They've been there. Versus Washington last time in 22 minutes, he dropped 29 fantasy points. I will go right back to it. Lonzo is showing he still has that defense that he was already known for. He can facilitate very well. And if he figures out how to shoot again, he could definitely give us some scoring chops. But 3,900 between him, Kobe White and Zach LaVine, those will be the main plays, and Vucevic if Sar is out. If Sar is Vooch if Sar is in. If Sar is out, I don't like Vooch. It'll just be Zach LaVine and Kobe White will be the main two I want to focus to from that starting lineup, and then Lonzo Ball off of the bench for them as a good value play that we can get to on the day. Last game, Brooklyn Nets taking on the Denver Nuggets. Of course, another game that we got to get some injury news and stuff like that for us. We do need to know if the Joker's in and if the Joker is going to play. If the Joker's out, then of course it'll be Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, Michael Porter Jr. be the main place we want to go to. I would imagine that DeAndre Jordan would have to start here again. And if DJ does start, I would think you guys as your center spots and stuff would be locked up already. But if you want to, sorry about that, guys. If you guys want to wait on the news and you want to maybe play DJ as one of your weird value plays, you definitely could mess with doing that there. 3,500. There are some other pivots you can get to, but I will say Peyton Watson and Strother, both those guys, they're going to get their minutes. They're going to get their burn and run. They're going to play regardless. And Strother, like the upside for him, the kid is playing with Russ in the starting lineup. He's still seeing over 25 minutes because he is coming in playing that guard rotation for Russ, for Jamal Murray, and for Christian Braun. His minutes are secure. His minutes will be there, especially just because Aaron Gordon is out. Mix and pot of what we can get, but I do think he has a safe floor in this matchup and in this game of 20 to 25 right there for us. So like him as another value play that we can get to today. Again, if the Joker is out, then I will be looking at Russell Westbrook. We'll be looking towards Jamal Murray. But if the Joker's in, then it's the Joker. You really don't got to look anywhere else. On the Brooklyn Nets side, got to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing over here. Ben Simmons, I'm really not too keen on him just because he doesn't have the scoring upside. I would say Keon Johnson, this is definitely not a revenge, but a bounce back spot for him. When they were shorthanded, 28 minutes, did not give us anything. 17.75 fantasy points when it was an 8-man rotation. Doesn't make sense to me. Definitely do think that he could be one of your low-owned plays you can go to today. Outside of that, Tyrese Martin, he's been playing pretty good, being inside the starting lineup, things like that. If he can knock down a couple more shots, that'll be great for him. Don't mind him at 5,200 price tag. Do think he's a little bit expensive, especially when I have a Keon Ellis on the slate that I can go to instead. So you definitely can mess with him there. Clowney, I'm not too interested in just because Daron Sharp, he's back, and so that's going to mess with some of the minutes and things over there for them. So I'm not too heavy on that right there. But everything else on the slate, we don't got to get too cute over here for the late night hammer. Honestly, if you don't have anything from that game, I don't feel like you have to have something from that game at all whatsoever on today's slate, especially if the Joker is in. You don't have to have anything from that. That's one of those where it's just like, all right, cool, it's going on. Just hope that someone doesn't magically pop off for 100 fantasy points in that game and you're good. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys were able to get a little something from this. Let me know down in the comment section what's going to be your favorite game to stack and attack on tonight. We got a couple of good ones to definitely get some value and some things like that from on today's slate. Hopefully you guys did get a little bit of sauce from here. If you guys are, again, looking for my player pool, my cores, my plays, and all that other stuff, besides my stuff, my boy BK, check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. Good luck to everybody. I hope you guys have a good day. I will see you guys next Monday. Let's go ahead. Let's cash. Let's make some money. Peace.